This class is going to out dealing with toxic people specifically. So it can be used with any type of toxicity that you encounter. This can be from yourself. It can be like foods that you eat. It can be medications that you take. But I channeled this sequence specifically when I was dealing with somebody that I consider to be toxic. And remember, someone that you might consider to be toxic, someone that's toxic in your life, that might not be their purpose in relationship with somebody else. So we never want to take somebody that triggers us and that we consider toxic and smear their name with that, right? Like it's our own stuff. And so we honor what's going on with us. We don't need anybody else to see anyone else through our eyes, right? Everyone's going to have their own perception. So when you encounter a toxic person or a toxic situation, a few things can happen. So for me personally, when I encounter somebody that's toxic, I either get super triggered and instantly I feel myself get really heightened. I feel myself starting to get anxious. I get really in my head. I can't focus. I feel here. I feel there. My thoughts are all over the place. The other thing that can happen depending on the situation is I shut down. I completely shut down and I kind of just freeze. Everything feels like it freezes. So I was really triggered one day last week and I decided to take that energy, take that toxicity that I was experiencing and create something with it. I decided to create this sequence. So we all observe toxicity on a day-to-day basis, right? When you're scrolling social media, you see people can be very toxic in their interactions with each other. And that can affect you too if you allow it to. Remember that you're always an energy banker. So you want to make sure that your energy is coming back to you with a return on investment. So if you're putting your energy out to a toxic situation, a toxic person, a toxic scenario, that's just the energy is just getting sucked out of you, right? Like your ROI on that is not great. And it's not going to fill your cup. So the first thing that you want to do is notice that you've been triggered, right? You want to be hyper aware of your own situation, your own being, your own state of mind. I always whenever I get triggered, I try really hard that this is an opportunity for growth. This is an opportunity for something within me that hasn't been healed that can now come to the surface and be healed. And if all else fails, then I can at least set up some boundaries and bless and release whatever the situation is. And maybe take a moment now to think of a toxic person, a toxic scenario. It could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it can be a family member. You can even, be standing in line at the grocery store and encounter a toxic encounter. And so all of these poses, this whole sequence, you can actually break them apart and just do them on their own without the whole sequence. So you can, if you really like one of them, then you can just do that. And it helps to break up and move the energy. Observe what your response is at the time to being triggered by a toxic person. Anytime that you're feeling toxins within you on a physical or emotional level, we want to detox that, right? We don't want any toxins sitting in our physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual bodies. It's all going to affect us. Other thing that you can do always, and that I highly recommend that you do, is that if you're specifically dealing with a toxic person, this can again be a family member or a work relationship, set boundaries. They're so important, and the only people that are ever going to be offended by your boundaries are the people that need them. So don't worry if your boundaries are going to affect other people. Okay, the thing that I want to share is that when we get triggered, when we get stressed out, when we encounter somebody that's toxic, our brains go back to an ipsilateral state. So if you watch babies, when they first come out, they're not very coordinated. And so it's like right hand, right leg move at the same time. So it's not until we get our brain gets more developed that we start doing this cross pattern. So when we get stressed out, no matter what age you are, your brain's gonna go back. It's gonna kind of revert back to this ipsilateral state. So the first thing that we are gonna do is come standing onto your mat. And again, there's never any harm in doing any of that. So even if you're feeling very balanced right now and we start doing the ipsilateral movement, we're gonna do the cross pattern so you're good. Okay, so feet are hip distance apart, hands are down, and you're gonna raise the right arm and right knee, and then left arm and left knee. So you're just gonna do this. So we're just kind of getting our brains into that ipsilateral state. And then what you're gonna do is start to cross pattern it. So now it's gonna be right hand to left knee. This is our natural state, and then left hand to right knee. So keep that core engaged so the belly button is back down to the spine. Fingertips are spread wide. And we're just resetting our brain here. We're just getting back into a cross pattern state. Good. And you can do this as long as you, until it starts to feel, okay, I feel good now. Good. All right, one more on each side. And then come back to mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart, palms face forward, chins parallel to the earth, and shut down the eyes. There's a soft micro bend in the knees. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Draw those shoulders down away from the spine. The tops of the shoulders melt away from the bottom of the ears. There's no tension in your glutes. You're not gripping the mat with your toes, but you're standing firm and you're standing strong. Maybe use that Ujjayi breathing, that audible breath at the back of the throat where it sounds like Darth Vader. And really channel that energy of a mountain, of standing strong, of resiliency, right? Mountains have been around for a long time, and it takes a lot for them to shift in nature. So they weather storms, people climb them, and they always remain strong and stable. And channel that energy for yourself, that you are always strong and stable. Good. Gently open up the eyes. Inhale those arms up. Get a slight little back bend here. Gaze between those thumbs. And then exhale to flip the palms and very slowly lower those arms down and chin to chest. Make sure we keep that nice soft bend in the knees. Inhaling the arms up. Gaze between the thumbs. Slight back bend. And exhale to flow everything down. It's like, imagine fanning out your aura. 2 more of these. Keep using that breath. Inhale the arms up. And exhale to fan down. That neck gets a nice stretch. Good, last one. Inhale everything up. Exhale, float the arms down. Good. Now we're gonna come into some standing twists. So what you wanna do is let your arms be really, really loose and start twisting, and let those hands hit the glutes, hit the hips. Find a spot in front of you and behind you and just start twisting. Remember doing this as a kid? And it's a release, right? You can even make gentle fists with your hands and allow wherever they land. So what's the point of this? Well, twisting is great for the spine. It's also very detoxing. And you can imagine that when you have encountered somebody that is really toxic for you, or a toxic situation, their energy can cling to your aura. It can feel that way. And so it's a way of moving everything out of you. So think about that. Think about, like, you're generating your own energy to clean, clear, and cleanse your own auric field. And it's a great release. You can, if the hands are not in fists, then you can feel the energy coming out through the fingertips. And then start to just very slowly start to slow down. There's no tension in your jaw. Slowing it down another notch, even more, until eventually we come back to mountain pose. Let those fingertips reach down towards the earth. Chin is parallel. If having your eyes closed makes you lose your balance, then gaze down at the floor about 6 inches in front of you. And just feel that energy settle. You moved around your own energy, and now let that just start to ground. You can visualize and feel yourself collecting energy up through the earth too. So our legs are ruled by the root chakra. And so feel your energy, what no longer serves you, release into the earth. And then at the same time, we're collecting that Mother Earth, that Gaia energy to keep us strong and stable. Good. Inhale to open the eyes, float those arms up. Slight back bend here. Swan dive, lead with your chest. Come into a forward fold, but keep those legs nice and straight. So the fingertips come down either to the earth or to a prop. Pull those shoulders back down towards the spine. The chest is leading down towards the earth, gazing down, right smack down in front of us. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings, in your calves, in your glutes. As you hold it, maybe you can soften the elbows a little bit and reach that chest towards the earth a little bit more. Take nice, long, deep inhales and exhales here. One more. Inhale deeply. And on your exhale, soften those knees. Let the crown of the head reach down towards the earth. Good. Maybe heel toe those feet in a little bit closer together. Grab onto opposite elbows. And you can start to gently twist from side to side. Imagining all of your anxieties, all of that toxic situation, that person, the thoughts that were generated from that experience are just pouring out of the crown of your head and leaving you now. Shaking out the head yes and no. Let those elbows reach down towards the earth. Good. Then release those hands. Slowly stack those vertebrae one at a time. Make your way back to standing. Big shoulder roll at the top. Step forward with that right foot. So both toes are pointed in the same direction. Interlace those hands behind the back. Lift with your chest. And then as you exhale, lead with your chest very, very slowly and mindfully. Come back into a forward fold. Both legs are extended. And then once you get there, release the hands. The left hand, we can rise up onto our fingertips or a block, comes down to the inside of that right foot, and then we inhale to twist to the right. So we're coming into a triangle pose and we're twisting here. There's no tension in your jaw. Take 3 breaths. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, float that top arm down. Interlace those hands once again behind the back. If you can't interlace the hands, use a strap or a tie or a big tube sock. And then inhale to slowly rise back up. Good. Release the hands, big shoulder shrug, and switch the feet. So now the left foot steps forward, the right foot's back. Toes are headed in the same direction. Interlace those hands behind your back. Get a nice lift in the chest first. Bring that navel to the spine. And then as you exhale, very, very slowly and mindfully, lead with your chest and come all the way down. Good. And then once those arms, the head is down, the arms are up, then you're going to go ahead and release that right hand. Fingertips stay down to the inside, maybe a little bit up from the big toe. Tent those fingertips, and then inhale to the left. Lift that left arm up. 3 breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep twisting. Good. Last one. Inhale. And as you exhale, float that left arm down. Interlace those hands behind the back once again. And then slowly lift your way all the way up to standing. Good. Release the hands. Big shoulder shrug here. Inhale those arms up. Swan dive, forward fold. Lead with your chest. Good. Make your way back down onto your knees. Now what we're going to do, so make your way to seated, and we're going to buff the aura. So come to a cross-legged position, and we're going to take the thumb and bring it to the Mercury mound, and then close the fingers. Arms come out, and we're going to start doing like the backstroke. So we start here. And then eventually you're going to start to do breath of fire, and that's pumping the navel. If you're pregnant, long, deep breathing. Otherwise, pumping the navel, and it's an equal inhale and exhale. Eyes are closed and turned up to that third eye, and go. Keep that navel pumping. Imagine that you're buffing out the aura. So we have that, maybe that trigger, that toxic person is in our head space, right? That's usually what happens. So bring up that situation, get really, really angry, start really pumping those arms and really pump it out of you. Clear and cleanse your energy field of any negative attachments, negative energies, lower vibrations, anything that does not serve your highest good. Imagine clearing, cleansing, and buffing that away from you. Conjure up that anger. Pump that navel. We're working with the solar plexus here. That's our willpower. It's our confidence. It's our relationship to others. So keep going. Go faster, go harder. Last minute, go, go, go. Make it the best, strongest cleansing minute so far. Good. Inhale, lift those arms up, spread those fingers wide. Hold the breath. And exhale, slowly lower the arms. Hands rest down onto the knees, sit nice and tall. Let everything settle. Soften your jaw, smooth out your forehead. Gently open up the eyes, bring those hands to the shoulders, fingertips spread out, and we're going to inhale right, exhale left. Hold that focus at your solar plexus, that space that's at the belly button or two finger lengths above it. So now that we've cleansed and cleared any negative energies, entities, lower vibrations, whatever you want to call them, out of our own energetic field, now we have all of the healing, all of the power, all of the positive, all of that stuff that we need. We already have that within us. So we want to now conjure up our own energy and fuel our own bodies with our own supply. Good. Inhale to center. And exhale, float those arms down. Good. Sit for a moment. Let everything settle. Good. And gently open up the eyes. Called the Ego Eradicator. And so just in case there's any lingering leftover ego attachments to that toxic situation or that toxic person, we're going to get rid of it now. So again, the thumb comes to the Mercury mound. Our thumb is represented by our ego. We wrap our fingers over and the arms come out to like a, 60-ish degree angle. Shoulders are drawn down away from the ears. Eyes are closed. Start pumping that navel. Start that breath of fire. Your arms are going to get tired. Your shoulders are going to get tired. That's just your ego telling you, I don't want change. If something is burning or tingling, that be kind to yourself. So if your 3 minutes looks like 2 minutes or 1 minute, that's fine. So keep going. Remember, the more resistance that you have to any pose like this, the more work that needs to be done. So push through it. You don't want to hold on to anything that you don't need to. You have under a minute left. Keep going. Keep those arms straight. Keep going. Keep going. You're almost done. You're almost there. Good. Inhale. Spread those fingertips wide. Those are like antennas, collecting all the good, attracting all the good, all the positive, all the light, all the wonderful in the world to you. And exhale, float those arms down. Keep the eyes closed. Feel that instant relief throughout the upper chest. It could feel between shoulders to shoulders throughout the whole heart center, that opening, expanding. It can be feeling like a bath of warm energy. Take a nice long deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. Good. Now we're going to make fists again, and we're going to buff out any energy that's in our heart centers that doesn't, right? Because typically if you're dealing with a toxic person, that especially someone that you have to deal with through family or whatever, or a work situation, then we don't want anything to gather. Our hearts get involved, right? And because we have to deal with them on a day-to-day basis versus an encounter at the grocery store. So the hands are in fists. And just start buffing at your heart center. Eyes are closed, sit nice and tall. Just start moving that energy. Your heart chakra is represented by the color green. And so you can visualize maybe your heart center, a green light that is in this space, and maybe it's a greenish brown light, and as you're buffing, it gets cleaner and brighter and stronger. Keep buffing, keep clearing, keep cleansing. No tension in your jaw. The forehead is nice and smooth. Breath is whatever is natural for you. It's going to take care of itself. Keep going. Last few seconds. Really buff it out. Shine up that heart center. Shine up that heart chakra. It's a beautiful green emerald light now. Good. Take a nice long deep inhale. And exhale, float those arms down. Hands rest on the knees. Observe your heart center now. Fresh, cleared, cleansed, balanced. Good. Gently open up the eyes. Whatever foot has been closer to the midline, go ahead and switch that out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your like surfer hangman, and we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So close off the right nostril and exhale. Then inhale through that left nostril. Block off the left and exhale through the right. Now block off the right. So we're always going to inhale through the left and exhale through the right. Good. Now when you're on your next right nostril exhaling, stay there and inhale. We're going to switch sides. So now we're inhaling through the right and exhaling through the left nostril. Good. Last one. Inhale through the right. We want to do 3 on each side. Exhale through the left. Lower the arm down. Normal breathing. Something you can do before that is close off one nostril and see which one is more dominant. So our throughout the day, I think it's every 90 minutes or 2 hours, whatever side is dominant switches. And so now, by doing that exercise, what you do is you create balance. So now there's an even flow between both. Good. Okay. Open up the eyes. Bring those feet bring the soles of the feet together. So we're going to come into butterfly because we store so much emotional trauma in our hips. So sit nice and tall, depending on where you want to feel this too. If you want to feel the stretch more in your inner groin area, the adductors, you're going to bring the feet closer to the midline. If you want to feel it more in the low back, then the feet come a little bit further out. Go ahead and grab onto those feet. The thumbs come right into the center of the foot. And you might even be able to kind of feel around and find like that a little bit of a pressure point, an acupressure point here. Open up the chest, open up those feet like you're holding a book. And then exhale and lead with your chest and stay here. Keep those shoulders drawn down. Keep a nice flat back. We're just at a little bit of like a 45-ish degree angle with the upper body, but we want to, but as much as you need to, so maybe your 45-degree angle is more of like a 60, so that you feel that stretch in the hip or low back area. There's no tension in the jaw, eyes are closed. Long, deep breathing. Have a little bit of pressure into the thumbs, into the center of that foot. Notice on your next exhale if you can let those knees fall even more out to the side, if you can maybe bring that chest a little bit closer to the earth. Notice where you're holding on to any unnecessary tension, maybe in the shoulders, and let that go. Take a nice long deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Start to rise up. Bring those knees together. Straighten out the legs. Toes point out. Hands come behind you, pointing back at the outside of the hips. And then we're going to come into like a reverse plank. So lift everything up. Gaze down at those toes. Start pumping that navel. Again, if you're pregnant, long deep breathing. This is a great one for the immune system. Inhale. Holding. And exhale, slowly lower down. Good. Wrap those legs around you, coming onto your knees. So we're going to come into Camel Pose. So we always want to kind of end with opening up. One of the poses we want to end with is opening up that chest to really let all that love in. Because again, when we encounter a toxic person, we still want to send them love, as hard as it may be sometimes, right? So feet come flat to the earth. Come up onto your knees. And the hands come right below, right on fingertips pointing down, right at the small of the back. And open up your chest. Lift it up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Keep those hips pushing forward. Now, this might feel like an amazing chest opener for you. Fantastic. Stay here. If you want to experience it, if you want to try it a different way, then release those hands down to the heels. Drop the head back. Keep the chest lifting up. Keep the hips pushing forward. Part the lips slightly. Smooth forehead. Breathe here. Really crack open that heart center. Feel that stretch in your throat. Last breath, inhale here. And as you exhale, walk those hands back up, come back to a neutral spine, and then sink down. First, come into Japanese seated position. Let everything settle, especially we stimulate the central nervous system there, so if your vision gets a little wonky or dark, then just let everything settle. And then go ahead and make your way into child's pose. So the forehead makes contact with something. So if you need a block or a bolster or a pillow to bring the earth up to you, do that. The forehead comes down, third eye makes contact. Take those arms and either rest them down by the sides or hold on to the soles of the feet. Soften those shoulders. Take a few breaths here. And we come into child's to surrender, right? So to surrender to the experience so that it's no longer attached to you. And maybe what's the wisdom chip that I can gain from this interaction, this person, this relationship, this whatever this toxic situation is, what can I learn about myself? So take a few moments in this child's pose, let everything rest, let everything settle, and explore that thought, explore that notion. Inhaling through the nose. And on each exhale, notice where you can soften more. A few more seconds here. Surrendering, resting, healing. Go ahead and release those hands. Bring them right below the shoulders. Gently push the earth away from you. And make your way back to a comfortable seated position. And the last meditation that we're going to come into is one where we bless ourselves, because who better to bless you than you, right? It's your experience, it's your life, it's your energy. So you're going to take your right hand, palm face down, right over your crown chakra, and your left hand is going to come at heart center, pointed down. And you're going to repeat, either silently or out loud, I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. Eyes are closed. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself, I bless myself, I bless myself, I am, I am. I bless myself. I bless myself. I bless myself. I am. I am. I bless myself. I bless myself. I bless myself. I am. I am. I bless myself. I bless myself. I bless myself. I am. I am. I bless myself. I bless myself. I bless myself. I am. I am. Keep chanting that, either internal or out loud, and notice the energy that you're feeling in the palm of your hand from your crown chakra, and also the energy that you're feeling from the earth. So we're connecting our higher selves, our higher consciousness. It's a reminder that we are all connected, that you are made up of the same elements of the earth, that you are made up of the same elements out in the cosmos, that we are truly all the same. And when you show any type of a lower vibration towards anybody else, you're showing it also towards yourself. So if you feel hate towards someone, then there's a part of yourself that's yearning to be loved. If you show frustration, there's a part of you that is yearning to be nurtured. And so the work can be deep, and it's never a linear line, right? It's like a circle. Think of Alice in Wonderland. We come full circle with one thing and then we dive deeper into the next level. It's not easy, but it's very rewarding. Last time, I bless myself. I bless myself. I bless myself. I am. I am. Bring those hands together in prayer position. Thumb rests at the breastbone. Focus is on the middle fingertip touching. That's the ends of pericardium 9, opening up the heart chakra, stimulating the heart chakra. Sit nice and tall. Crown of the head reaches up towards the heavens. Tailbone roots down and connects you to the earth. Pull the shoulder blades back. Chest is lifting. Sit in this magnificent essence of yourself, of your truth, of all of your love, of your power, your strength and your resiliency. And in that truth that we're all here to help each other out. And when we get triggered by others, it's simply their way of helping us out. Bless and release the situation. Take the trigger. Do the work that's being asked of you. Heal whatever it needs to be healed. And once you transmute that energy, that lower vibration to a higher one, you are then able to heal the collective and to maybe heal someone else or give them permission to heal themselves. Remember, we're all doing the own work. We just have the space held for us and the tools provided to us. Take a moment to cultivate an intention of love and light from your heart center. Let it come out through your fingertips and send it first to that toxic person or that toxic situation. Surround your love around that toxicity. And now take all of your love and surround it around you. And now take that love and send it out to the whole world. Every being, whether we agree with them or not, every plant, every animal, every blade of grass, every rock, every body of water. Send your love and light out to the whole world, knowing that whatever you put out comes back to you. Take a nice long deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. I wish you all peace and presence. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.